Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie Midnight News, and these are our top stories. The President of the Republic, Al-Majid Tebboune, received the Ambassador of the United States of America, who paid him a farewell visit upon the completion of her mission in Algeria. And our national football team qualifies for the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations after a tense game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the Minister of Interior, Local Authorities and Transport presented a report on the draft law establishing the traffic code to the Committee on Equipment and Local Development of the Council of the Nation. And in Morocco, abandoned in the cold, government failure leaves El House family homeless. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Al-Majid Tebboune, received this Tuesday the U.S. Ambassador to Algeria, Elizabeth Moore-Aubin, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of her mission in Algeria. The audience took place in the presence of the Director of the Cabinet of the Presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem, and the Advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of diplomatic affairs, Amar Abba. At the end of the audience, the U.S. Ambassador made the following statement.
The great opportunity to thank President Tebboune for the great honor to have represented the United States and to have worked with him and with the Algerian government for the last 4 years. On February 2nd, 2022, I arrived in the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria as the United States ambassador. And for these last 4 years, I have had the most purposeful and meaningful experience of my professional life. And I'm deeply grateful to have had this time here in Algeria. My arrival in 2022 was not my first experience in Algeria. From 2011 to 2014, I served as the Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy here and developed a profound appreciation and deep love for this amazing country. And it really is an extraordinary country, rich in culture, generosity, and kindness. The Algerian people will always be in my heart. The bilateral relationship between Algeria and the United States is deep, and it's strong, and it's growing. It's built on a foundation of shared values and goals, of respect and friendship. Our cooperation spans from economic to security matters, from cultural and educational exchange to agricultural collaboration. We collaborate in the energy sector and develop our security cooperation capacities to promote regional stability and to fight terrorism. We send students and teachers from one country to the other, learning from each other, bridging our cultures, and bringing our unique perspectives into each other's lives. And we have such a long and rich history on which to build. In 1795, our two countries signed the Treaty of Peace and Amity, in which we reciprocally agreed to treat each other with honor and respect. A few months ago, we celebrated the 230th anniversary of that document's signing. On July 1962, the United States was among the first countries to recognize Algerian independence. And in 1981, Algeria played a role of creative and active intermediation, which helped and was crucial in the release of 52 American diplomats held hostage in Tehran. These are just a few examples of the remarkable history we share together. And as the United States and Algeria continue to work to make our countries safer places for our citizens to thrive and stronger places for our nations to prosper, I know that we are capable of accomplishing so much together. Although I am departing, the great work and the strong ties that we have built will continue far into the future. And wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, I will be a friend to Algeria, and I will always be rooting for a deeper, stronger bilateral relationship and deeper, stronger people-to-people ties between the United States of America and Algeria. I am so grateful to have had the chance to work here. This honor that you have allowed me and the respect I have for you will stay with me for the rest of my life. Yatikum saha. Shukran.
Sports now with the AFCON 2025. It was a night of celebration and pride as the national football team booked its place to the quarter-final. After a tense and hard-fought 1-0 victory over the Democratic Republic of Congo, the moment of joy came deep into extra time when Adel Boulbina struck a dramatic winner at the very last minute of a second half of the extra time, sending fans into sparking scenes of jubilation.
الحظ أن زين الدين بالعيد عاد في الوقت المناسب بعد الخطأ من موندي، بينما هنا كرة انطلاقة من عادل بولبينا. هذا ما أريده من عادل. عادل 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 قلت بأنني أنتظر لمسة من عادل بولبينا. قلت بأن عادل بولبينا الفنان، هكذا يقول لهم عادل بولبينا. هكذا تسجل الأهداف، هكذا تضرب دفاعات الخصوم، هكذا نحرك شباك الخصوم، هكذا نسجل الأهداف. هذه هي الجزء عاد أو سيصعد ونهاية المباراة. نهاية المباراة فوز المنتخب الجزائري في الشوط الإضافي.
What a marvellous goal indeed. A victory that was massively celebrated across the whole country. I'll let you now enjoy the atmosphere. Same atmosphere abroad, and from France, our community there also celebrated the victory the way it should be. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, took part this Tuesday in a ministerial meeting of the African Union Peace and Security Council, held by video conference, to review the latest development in the Federal Republic of Somalia. The discussions focused in particular on the move by Israeli occupation authorities to recognize the so-called state of Somaliland. We'll listen.
Let me start by reiterating Algeria's strong condemnation of the recent unilateral recognition of the so-called state of Somaliland by the Israeli occupation authorities. In the same spirit, I would like to reaffirm Algeria's unwavering solidarity with the Federal Republic of Somalia in all its efforts aimed at preserving its sovereignty, national unity, and territorial integrity. In this regard, we should all be mindful of the fact that after having spread instability, tragedy, and chaos in the Middle East, through an unending series of military aggressions in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Lebanon, in Syria, in Yemen, and in Iran. The Israeli occupying power is now seeking to create a new source of tension and conflict in the Horn of Africa. And I sincerely believe that we can safely bet, without a shade of hesitation, reservation, or doubt, that nothing good will come out of the Israeli move, neither for Somaliland itself, nor for Somalia and the whole region. The matter before us today is indeed of profound concern, not only for the Federal Republic of Somalia, but also for the Horn of Africa, for the African continent as a whole, as well as for the international community at large. It is finally a matter of international concern, as the Israeli unilateral action represents a blatant violation of the core principles upon which the contemporary international order is founded, and which are enshrined in the United Nations Charter. For all these reasons, Algeria believes that today's meeting must go beyond the simple expression of condemnation of the Israeli unilateral action and declaration of solidarity with the sisterly Republic of Somalia. What is required from us at this stage is a renewed collective commitment to African unity. African unity in the face of all attempts to destabilize African countries by undermining their sovereignty, national unity, and territorial integrity. African unity in the defense of the normative collective framework that binds us together, including the sacred principle of intangibility of borders inherited at the independence of our countries. And last but not least, African unity in safeguarding a rule-based international order in which our countries can enjoy their rights and fulfill their duties on an equal footing with all other UN member states. It is only through unity that African countries can truly preserve their interests in a world that is increasingly shaped by hegemony, domination, total disregard for international law, and full disrespect for the United Nations Charter.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, received on Tuesday the Director General of the International Organization for Migration, Amy Pope, who is on an official visit to Algeria. The two parties examined the various aspects of cooperation between Algeria and the IOM and discussed ways to strengthen it in order to ensure the effective handling of various challenges related to migration. On behalf of the President of the Republic and on behalf of Algeria, government and people, the Minister of Mujahideen and War Veterans, Abdulmalik Tashrif, signed the Book of Condolences this Tuesday at the Embassy of the People's Republic of Bangladesh following the passing of the former minister. At the Council of the Nation, the Equipment and Local Development Committee heard on Tuesday from the Minister of Interior and Local Authorities and Transport, Said Sayud, who presented a report on the draft law establishing the Traffic Law Code. The proposed legislation aims to strengthen road safety by combining preventive measures and stricter enforcement. The new road traffic law introduces coherent and preventive measures to address worsening road safety situation, with projections exceeding 4,000 deaths and tens of thousands of injuries by 2025, while recent accidents continue to claim lives across the country. Ranil Bahri.
Traffic accidents in Algeria continue to be a major concern. At the beginning of 2026, many accidents have already caused deaths and injuries across the country. In the last 24 hours alone, 4 people died and 189 others were injured. Official data shows how serious the problem is. Across Algeria, there were 25,538 road accidents. These accidents caused 3,571 deaths and 34,953 injuries. Compared to 2024, the situation became worse. In 2025, road accidents increased by 2.86%, injuries went up by 4.22%, and deaths increased by 1.95%. A new draft law on road traffic has been prepared. It focuses on prevention, public awareness, and strict punishment to encourage responsible behavior on the roads. The draft law is still open for discussion and improvement. Recently, a meeting was held between social partners and representatives from the Ministry of Interior, local authorities and transport. Professionals welcomed this approach. They asked for strong penalties, respect for people's rights, and more preventive measures. Civil society also called for urgent action. They stressed the need for better roads, stronger controls, and more digital tools to make Algerian roads safer.
In a new initiative aimed at strengthening the Algerian-British partnership, the Algerian Embassy in London hosted this Tuesday a forum bringing together diplomats, experts and partners from both countries under the theme Connecting Algerian Agriculture to British Innovation. On this occasion, Algeria reaffirmed its determination to consolidate its food security through the development of modern agriculture sector, inviting British companies to invest in the areas of agri-food processing, digitalization and smart irrigation, particularly in the Great South. And in London, the Palestinian embassy was inaugurated this Tuesday, 3 months after the UK recognized the state of Palestine. Palestinian Ambassador Hussam Zomlot described this event as a recognition of Palestinian people's right to establish a sovereign state, expressing his hope to see Al-Quds as capital of Palestine and see the Palestinian refugees return back home. Morocco. Victims of Al-Hawz earthquake are still waiting for assistance. Many families remain homeless, exposed to the winter cold, a persistent situation that highlights the negligence and inability of the Merzin regime to respond to the population's demand. Rania Bahri.
Broken tents let in the cold and the rain. The suffering of the Moroccan people is clear. Day after day, year after year, their pain continues and living conditions become worse. In Al-Hawz province, the earthquake victims say they have been abandoned. 3 years after the disaster, many families are still homeless. Local authorities haven't provided them with shelter even during the harsh winter. This is the reality in Al-Hawz. Today, families are still living in tents in very difficult conditions. We are suffering. The people of Al-Hawz are marginalized and forgotten. While the Merzin shows a false image through festivals and bright lights, forgotten villages fall deeper into poverty and darkness. With the rain and the cold, I have nowhere to go. I live outside. I want my home back, my rights and my future for my children. Heavy rain and snowfall only show how serious the tragedy is. They reveal the failure of the Merzin government, which has still not rebuilt the damaged areas.
Well, that was it for tonight. On behalf of all the team that made this broadcast possible, I do thank you for watching us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.